Stephanie, what is the gratefulness part of your life that if you were to sit down and write in a gratitude journey, what are you thankful for?
I am and I do have a gratitude journal because I think that sets me up for, having a good night's sleep and for, processing things and having a great day the next day. And in fact, staying in a state of gratitude is absolutely essential. And when I had one of the biggest tragedies of my life, that was how I processed it. I was in this absolutely divine, supernatural, ethereal place of gratitude that I was aghast, that I was so grateful. Here I'd had just a horrific accident and couldn't walk for months and, lost so much.
Was it a car accident? Or?
No, it was, I fell down some stairs and broke my ankle so badly the bone was pushing through. It broke in 3 places. It was, severe reconstructive surgery. It seemed to add 20 years of age to me, from a really effervescent 63-year-old to I felt like I was 100 years old and totally incapacitated. And, I'm just coming out of that trauma as well, that a whole childhood and lifetime of trauma, it's like that gets all brought up when you go through a current day trauma, right?
Right.
And this time my body, mind, and spirit said, we process this now. If you want to live a whole new, brand new life, let's process this. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months. So what I'm most proud of, I guess I could say, or grateful for, I am grateful for the fact that I am, finding new life. And I am learning to know and love myself. Never, ever loved or accepted myself because I wasn't loved and accepted by my totally dysfunctional family of origin.
Right.
I was a scapegoat, went through a tremendous trauma that, I should write a book on because most people don't go through those traumas, and yet maybe they do, and they just don't know it, because some of that was even in my sleep. Some of it was while I was in utero that I got traumatized. I've discovered. How do you get past trauma? Well, I'm trained in PTSD, but it's nothing like what I've been experiencing lately. It's way beyond. It's like at the level of not wanting to live.
Right. So for those out there that may not want to live, that are going through trauma, what is your wisdom for them today? Because there's somebody surely out there going through trauma or have experienced trauma as a child, and as I did as well. But I've gone through a process of digging that up and forgiving. What is your wisdom for somebody that's gone through trauma? Because you mentioned you're learning, you love yourself, but for a long time you did not. There are many out there that feel that they can't love themselves. And that's not because of themselves, it's because of how they have been treated. So what's your wisdom to them?
Right. Well, you can take the journey and discover yourself and discover what the root cause of everything you're suffering truly is. And everything is, you are so neuroplastic, in other words, your brain, your heart, it's just a matter of getting in touch with everything and learning how to heal, how to actually rewire your brain, which is what I help people do, how to rewire the heart, because we have a heart brain, we have a gut brain, we have a brain, we're a body lastly, but first of all, we're a spirit, and we have a soul, and then we live in a body. And to get in touch with your spirit, who you really are authentically, and to get in touch with your heart, what your emotions are, thought processes, mindsets, habits. It's all just this gorgeous picture. But when you're broken and discombobulated, it can be a horror show. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just, you can feel like there's no hope.
Right.
And that's what I help people do is to get their hope back, because I'm just now getting my hope back that, yeah, I can do life. I can do the rest of my days on earth, whether it's another year, I'm not promised anything, or whether it's, another 60 years.
Right.
My goal is to live to 120. How many wrinkles will I have then? Well, I think with wisdom, it really doesn't matter. With a joy for living and an authenticity in life and a deep, deep, deep connection with God, with ourselves, and with other people, life is so, so, so rich.
Right.
So
right.
I think what I'm most proud of is the deepening connection I have with my husband, how he has trusted me and loved me through this process when I told him I didn't want to live anymore. And yet, he bore all that. He stuck with me, and, through the fits of rage and tantrums and going almost comatose. I mean, it wasn't a pretty journey at all, but I have the tools to help people in a deeper way than I did before this. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Right. So I think everybody can learn to love themselves, but like you said, it's a journey, because if they've been programmed that they're unlovable, that they're fat, that they're ugly, that they're whatever, or they have been abused as a child, it is so hard to believe. So oftentimes we need somebody else to believe in us before we can see it for ourselves. But let me reassure you out there, everybody is unique and intricately created. So we are all beautiful. And like Norma said, Norma, it's a there we go again. Nora, that's the brain part of me. It's a journey, and you can learn to love yourself. So we're almost out of time for this week, but I'm so glad, Norma, you'll be back next week. Tell the audience how they can get a hold of you and what you'd like to offer them today.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me at Norma at normacarlozzicoaching.com. And my offer is a 15-minute free coaching session. If we resonate and hit and you'd like more of me, we can make that happen. And all I can say is I wish I had someone that had been on my journey before I hired certain therapists or coaches. At 16, I started going to therapists, or 14. I think it was 14, because I didn't want to live and I was so depressed. And I said to my mother, don't ever take me to a psychiatrist again. They're crazier than I am. I'd gone to several and they were like, oh my gosh. I could see where they were at. And it's like, oh, heck no. I could help them. They can't help me. And then I did find the people to help me. And like you said, Lorraine, I found people that believed in me before I believed in myself, because everyone, as you said, everyone is beautiful, but every one of us has such profound heavenly value. And of course, magic. That to find that, to have other people that see me before I see myself, and to hold that space for me, to be that before I can be it on my own. It really, it's miraculous. It's actually transformational.
Right. It's like somebody holding space, and they believe in you. And until you can believe in yourself, they are believing in you. And it's amazing thing. And I've got one more question. What would you believe is the single most important character quality that produces resilience? What would be the quality that would produce that?
I think, and it's not talked about very much. I would say gratitude, of course, is at the top of the list, but I think surrender to the process, when I surrender to my Creator and say, you know what, I can't do this. As a victim, and you can relate to this probably, Lorraine, when you're victimized as a child, when you're abused, I had it psychologically, physically, religion, and every other way you can imagine. I was in a double bind, triple bind, quadruple bind. But when you have that going on, it's like really, really, you just are so out of touch with yourself. And yet, you try to do everything yourself, because that's what victims do. They learn how to cope and push through in their own strength without people, because all the people in my life I couldn't trust because they so abused me. I mean, from my father to my brother to my siblings to teachers to a pastor, you know, and I just discovered how severe that was on my psyche to have untrustworthy behavior toward me.
Right.
Like, what am I, a whipping post, a scapegoat? Yes, I was, you know, as well as the person that kind of helped my family run their life and live better because I, you know, helped them out so much. It's like, it was a strange thing.
Right.
Like I was still willing to love them and in essence, trust them without them actually deserving to be trusted or accepted or loved or helped. Crazy.
So
game.
Yeah, I do think that that character quality of surrender and resilience is interesting, because surrender, I didn't tell you this, but that happens to be my word of the year, surrender. And I think it's yes. So thank you for coming in, Norma. I'm so glad that we get to talk next week. And for all of you out there, yes, I'm excited. Remember, it is never too late. It's never too late to surrender, to change your mindset, to follow your dreams. It is never too late to live a life of purpose. It is never too late, ever. Thank you for coming in, Norma, and we'll see you back here next week.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it, Lorraine.
Bye.
Bye.